Hello everyone, so today's tutorial is going to be over Google Keep. I'm going to go into detail how I use Google Keep, the different settings and features of Google Keep, and I'm also going to show you how you can create custom headers to use at the top of your Google Keep notes. So before we begin, you'll want to make sure that you're on Google Chrome, and there are many ways that you can access Google Keep. I like to just click on, this is what I call the little waffle. I like to click there and then scroll down and then just click on Google Keep. There are also extensions that you can add for Google Keep, and you can access those from the web store. So now I'm going to the web store and I am going to search for Google Keep. And then I click on extensions. So this Google Keep Chrome extension actually saves the page that you're on as a bookmark into your Google Keep notes. I like to use what's called Google Keep Pop-up. So I'm going to search for Google Keep Pop-up. And it's this one right here, Pop-up for Keep. And then you click Add to Chrome, Add Extension. And so what this looks like is when you click on it, it actually loads your notes inside of a smaller window. All right, so if this is the first time you've ever opened Google Keep, it may tell you that you can enjoy dark theme. You can either turn it on or off in your settings. So if you turn it on, it looks like this. I personally prefer a lighter view, so I'm going to go to settings and turn it off. Click Save. And I'm going to give you a quick kind of tour of Google Keep before I show you how to create notes and how you can create your own headers. So I'm just going to kind of move left to right, and then we'll work in that order. So right here is your main menu, and this just collapses everything along the side. So you can create notes, you can create reminders, you can add labels to sort your notes, and we'll go into detail about that in just a moment. You can archive your notes and then find them here. And then you have your trash icon where you can delete your notes and find them here as well. And then they are deleted after 7 days. All right, you also have this search bar, so you can search for specific terms or anything like that to locate in one of your notes. Like let's say, for example, you have a lot of notes and you were searching for a website or an idea that you had. You can search a key term and it will pull up that note that you recorded that information on. All right, next is the refresh button. So this just refreshes your page. You also have a list view. All right, then you have your settings gear. And then once you click on settings, there's just some different features that you can play with. So for example, instead of adding new lists to the bottom or new items on your list to the bottom, you can add it to the top. And if you would want to do that, you would uncheck that. The next one is move checked items to the bottom. So let's say you had a checklist and you had multiple items listed on that checklist. Once you check them, the default is for them to move to the bottom of the list to kind of clear it and make you feel like you've accomplished your task, right? Because it's out of sight, out of mind. You can actually uncheck this and keep the checked items where they are if that's what you prefer. Display rich link preview. So that's just showing that it's giving you a snapshot of what the website looks like. Dark theme, just some defaults and settings for your reminders. And then if you want to be able to share your notes with other accounts. All right. And then you have your waffle little bar up here where you can just access all of your apps quickly and then your account information. All right, now for creating a note. So you'll just want to click right here on the note itself, and then you can add a title if you would like. Just a stylistic effect that I like to add to my notes is I put spaces between the words. So what that would look like, so let's say for example, this was your to-do list. You could totally just type it like that. I, again, just like to kind of space it out a little bit just to give it more of that visual appeal. And so I just put a space in between each of those letters. And then right below it is where you're going to actually take your notes. So I may say, plan out Unit 5, look at year at a glance, and adjust boutiques. So I'm just coming up with random to-dos. And so let's say you want these to be a checkbox, so that way you can check them off as you do it, and it kind of be like your little running checklist. How many times can I say check? So what you'll want to do is you'll click on More and then click Show Checkboxes. So now you have these checkboxes here that you can tick whenever you have finished the item. Let's say you accidentally checked it and you didn't mean to. You just have to uncheck it and it moves it back up to the list. And here's a cool feature. So it says to indent, drag the items on your list or use the shortcut command plus the bracket. It's the closing bracket. So if you're on the computer, you could just drag it like this. So let's say you wanted this to be a topic. So this would be lesson planning, right? And then now you can add little checklists that go underneath the lesson planning topic. So then I might add plan out unit 5. And then maybe you wanted to add a separate topic. So let's slide this back over. And then let's say you were on a committee at your school. And then you can add different checklist items underneath that category. So it just kind of divides it up for you if you would like. And if you're not on a computer, instead of dragging it, or on your phone, you can actually just swipe it over. You would hit Command and the bracket. So, oops, that was Shift. So you'll hit Command and the bracket, and you can see it either moves it to the left or to the right. All right, the next thing that you can do is you can actually set reminders for the items that are on your list. You can collaborate on these notes, so you can add other people to comment on them and to check off items as you navigate through the list. You can also change the color of your notes, so you can see that there are 12 different options to pick from. You can add an image, and this is where the Google headers will come into play that we'll design in just a moment. You can archive the note once you're finished. You can delete the note. You can add labels and drawings, which we'll talk about in just a moment. You can duplicate it, make a copy of it, and then you can also copy over your note to a Google Doc. And then these are just your undo and redo buttons. So the job of this thumbtack is to keep your most important notes up at the top. As you start creating lots of notes, it'll be hard to find certain ones. And let's say your to-do list is one that you keep all the time and you're accessing all the time, then you can pin it so that way it stays up at the top and it's easy to access. All right, so now I have a bunch of notes created in different categories. And so I kind of wanted to show you what it looked like if I were to pin this note. Do you see how it now created a category called pinned and now it's up at the top versus all the other ones are now located in a category called others? All right, so the next thing I want to show you, I added another note called curriculum writing so I could kind of show you how if I were linking things together through the labels, what it would look like. So what I would do is I would go to edit labels, and let's say I want to create a label that has to do with my campus, or let's say my district. So I'm going to say MISD and then click done. So now what I can do is I can click on more, add label, and then I can add the label MISD. Let me do another one, just like that. And so now whenever along the side, I can just click on this label right here and it'll only filter the notes that have to do with MISD. So it's just another way to kind of organize your notes and ideas. So a lot of you really liked my headers that I created and shared with you all for free. If you missed the video about these 4 headers that I created, I will provide the link in the description box below. But I'm also going to show you in this video how to create these headers that just gives it a little bit more of that creative, and it just gives it a little bit more of that pizzazz, and you know, it's just fun to create these sometimes. You totally don't have to do that. It's totally being extra, but I'm going to show you how to create them in case that's something you were interested in. So I like to create my Google Keep headers inside of PowerPoint. You can totally do the same thing inside of Google Slides or Google Draw. I prefer to use Google Draw if you are using Google products. Just know that with PowerPoint, you do have a little bit more of customization options and things like that. I'm going to spend a majority of this video showing you how to do it in PowerPoint, but I'll also do a quick overview of how I would do it inside of Google Draw. It just won't be as detailed as this PowerPoint tutorial is. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to File, Page Setup, and then I have mine sized 6 inches by 3 inches, and you'll need to make sure you go to Custom so that way you can create your own canvas size. Then click OK. If it asks you to scale up or scale down, you'll just need to click Don't Scale. All right, so I'm going to insert a blank slide so I can show you how I did this. So I just first started with a background. So I'm going to go to Format, Slide Background. And then I just picked a random pretty color. Let's do a purple one. I don't have a purple one yet. Let's see. Maybe a little bit lighter, like that. So then click OK. So there's the purple. And next you'll want to insert a text box. So I did an IGTV video over how I create this fun little outline, but I'll quickly show you how to do it on this video as well. So I'm going to go to Insert Text Box. And then the font that I used for these was AG Joy of Missing Out. Right there, Joy of Missing Out, solid. Then I changed it to white. And then let's see, what size did I have these at? 80. And then I'm going to change it to 80. And now I'm going to say, let's do college, because I don't think I have one. Yeah. I may have to make this one smaller, actually, since it is so big. The word is so long. Okay, so let's do 60. Yeah, that should be good. Now you'll want to make a copy of this exact text box. So you'll want to make sure that the cursor is no longer blinking and that you have the actual text box selected. So just make sure you have the 4-headed arrow and click it on the text box. On a Mac, you'll press Command-C on your keyboard and then Command-V on your keyboard as well so that it'll paste it. And then I go to Text Options on my Format pane. If your Format pane is no longer showing, you'll just go to Shape Format, Format pane, and then it should pop up on the right-hand side. Click on Text Options. Fill, we want to click No Fill, but then Outline, we want to click Solid Line. We want the line to be black. And then let's make it a little thicker. Let's make it 1. And so now you'll see if you drag it down, the red guidelines kind of help you snap it into place. Once it's in place, I like to use my arrow keys on my keyboard and shift it over, 3 or 4 spaces to the right, and then, 2 or 3 up, just to give it a little bit of that whimsical, unperfect alignment on top of the white text. And actually, I think the outline was a little thinner. Yeah, okay, I left it at 75. So I want these to match. So I am going to bump this back down to 75.75. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm going to add some fun little icons next to it just to serve as a quick visual. And I actually find all of these on PowerPoint, which is really cool. So I'm going to go to Insert, Icons. And if you don't have this feature on PowerPoint, you can totally just Google and try to find some free ones to use. So then I just like to search. So college, I think of school. So I'm going to search for school. And I like the books that pop up. You could even do a little graduation cap. So I'm just going to click on the books, click Insert. And now you can actually change the color of the icon. So for graphics fill, and this is under the graphics format, I'm going to change it to white. And then I'm going to slide it over. I'm going to resize it just a little bit. Yeah, that's about good. And then I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy it. So I did Command-C and Command-V. Click on Format Pane. I'm going to give it no fill, a solid line. And let me check what the line was on these. 0.75. Okay. So I'm going to change this to 0.75. Align it on the top. And then just do the same thing. Using my arrow keys to move it around just a little bit. And there you go. And now you have your image created. So now I'm going to show you how you upload these images onto your Google Keep. Once you have all of your headers designed the way you would like, you can then go to File, export. And then I like to create a folder for all of mine. So I'm just going to create a folder on my desktop named Google Keep Headers. Then I'm going to change the file format to a PNG. And I want to save every slide instead of current slide only. And then I'm going to click export. Then click OK. And now I'm going to show you how to create something similar on Google Draw before we start actually adding these to our Google Keep notes. So I'm just going to go to my Google Drive. Then I'm going to go to New and then More Google Draw, Google Drawings. Same setup. I'm going to go to File, Page Setup, Custom, 6x3, click Apply. To change the background, you'll need to right click and then click on background. And then you can choose from these colors or you can click on custom. So I'm going to try to find a similar color that I've used. Let's go with that one. Click OK. And then you'll need to insert your text box. So you can go to Insert Text Box and size it like this. Let's do 72. Or we can do 80, like the same one. And let's say this one was for our to-do. I'm going to bring this one up, bring this down a little bit. And then let's use, so I want to add a different font. And these are usually the standard fonts that come on your Google Drive, but you can actually add more fonts. And all of Google fonts are free. You can just only use them on the Google products. You can't upload your own custom fonts that you've purchased onto Google. So I like to sort by, handwriting. I think those are really cute fonts when they're the handwriting type fonts. And then you can sort by popularity, alphabetical, date added, or fonts that are trending that are handwriting. So I like to just kind of look through here and I just click on various fonts that I think, oh, I might use that font one day. And then you just click OK once you're finished, and all of those fonts will show up in your list now. So let's say I wanted to use this one, Covered by Your Grace. So I'm going to make this one actually a little bit bigger because this font is pretty small. Let's make it, there we go. And I'm going to move it back up. If you don't want the outline, then you can totally just leave it like this. If you do want to have the outline, it doesn't do it exactly, but it looks similar. You can go to Insert Word Art and then do it this way. So I'm going to type in to do. And then this is what populates, but then you can change the font. So I can change it to the Covered by Your Grace. I can make the fill white, or actually the fill white, and then the outline black. And then I can change the outline width right there. And then I can also make it like a dotted outline, a dashed and dotted, so on and so forth. But it doesn't let you move the outline to give it more of that whimsical effect, but it still does let you outline it. And then you can even add, the drop shadow or anything else that you want to give it a little bit more of that artistic effect. So I'm going to delete this one, and then I'm going to resize this one. Oops. Let's do it like that. There we go. And I'm going to put it right there. I am going to give it a little bit of that drop shadow. And then I'm going to go to Insert, Image, Search the Web. And then I'm going to find a checklist icon. So then if you find one that you like, you can just click on it, then click Insert. And then resize it to fit how you would like. Then click on Format Options, and then you can also give that one a drop shadow as well. If you want to add some really cute icons to your Google Keep headers, and you're kind of stuck because you don't have ones to add from PowerPoint, or you don't really like any of the ones that Google offers when you search the web. I love to buy clip art off of Etsy. So all I did was I searched icons clip art, and you can see all of the various icons that different designers have created. You'll just want to make sure when you click on it that they do offer it as PNGs. Some of them will offer it as like Photoshop, which would be the AI or the Adobe Illustrator version. And if that's all they offer, then obviously it won't help you if you're trying to upload it. But if they do offer PNG versions of it, then that's perfect. And you can just upload it onto your PowerPoint or onto Google Draw, however you want to do that. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you were curious as to how you could find some more icons. Now, obviously these do cost, but to me it's totally worth it because you pay $2.75 one time and then you get to have these icons forever. So I just wanted to share that little tip with you in case you were looking for some cute icons to use. Once you are finished and you have it how you would like, you'll want to go to File, Download as a PNG image, and it will save to your downloads. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to add those headers to your Google Keep notes. So you'll want to click on Add Image, and then my ones that I created in PowerPoint, I saved to my desktop. So let me find my to-do. There it is. So I'm going to click Open, and now it has created that image up at the top. And I now want to take the color off because I don't like the color, and I'm going to just leave it white with the pink header. And you just repeat the process for all of the ones that you created. Another cool feature of Google Keep is when you're working inside of a Google Doc, you can actually open Google Keep and take notes as you're reading a Google Doc. So I shared a video how I was looking at our agenda for our team leader meeting, and it had a lot of to-dos and just important items on there. And when I had my Google Keep pop-up open, it was blocking some of the things that I needed to see on the screen. So I discovered that there's actually this side panel where you can click on Google Keep and your notes are actually right here. So you can add notes as you're scrolling through an agenda, which is really cool. So like to me, this really stood out when you're lesson planning and you need to make a list of things to copy, things to print, so on and so forth. You could have your lesson open in Google Docs or your lesson plans and then add your to-dos over to the right side as you're looking through the lesson plans. So Google Keep also has an app that you could get on your phone, on your tablet, so on and so forth, which is really nice because you can add something to your notes when you're on the go and you have your phone with you. And then, of course, it syncs because it's all a part of Google Drive. So yeah, that is how I use Google Keep. I hope this video was super helpful for you guys, and I can't wait to see some of the headers that you all start designing.